Hello, good afternoon and howdy as for the 17th US Grand Prix to take place here at the Lone Star so far this weekend has been 3.4 miles per lap here this afternoon, and that was back in 2021. It's not been degrading quite as much as the fans waiting for the start of this race. He won anyway by the time that came into force. A team's in company and ahead of Colapinto, his teammate Q3. Nico Hulkenberg hasn't made it for a Grand Prix. It's 7th on the grid for Kimi Antonelli, 6th on the start since his pole in Hungary, and the front row is the speed, or is second on the grids. The one
will need a better start than he had yesterday if that's going to on the grid. The most interesting one, drivers at the back of the grid trying hard compound. So Leclerc, but they used length heading up to turn one and a bit more confidence.
Has been taken by the trophy for today's race. How that wind has changed around 180 degrees.
Is into a headwind, and that's braking zone. They'll have a tailwind. They'll have if they had to choose a wind direction, they would choose this one.
Martin Brundle in the McLaren here in Austin, explaining exactly.
Sector one with the wind on their nose, but lots team because you've got a tailwind, including the final corner. Something to watch out for.
Yeah, if you fly your aerodynamic into the racetrack, so. That is the difference.
It's a fascinating race this afternoon. Yesterday, so it's a voyage into the unknown for them. We don't
any data about the wear underneath the car. We've seen slightly more cautious Will McLaren on where they would.
With that soft tyre start from Charles Leclerc, which might often races evolve, and that could be the case. 35 of his previous 46 pole. 2024, he bounced back the next day to win his own peace of mind and that championship lead
for S to pick one. It will not be easy for Oscar Piastri.
Charles Leclerc ahead of him, Lewis Hamilton right behind. Championship lead for Oscar Piastri, whittled down by is just chaperoning the very last start.
Earlier.
Like one of those cows, his teammate Liam Lawson was. Start from Lando Norris, but in the second phase, and Norris gets just a bit compromised in the Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton is also ahead.
Worked beautifully for Leclerc. He thought about trying to take the news for Piastri, as you say.
Bad news for Fernando Alonso. Best traction there, getting out of turn and roll. Right there, back two, but look at the gap. Down the inside goes Kimi Antonelli, battling away.
Wing open until one lap has been completed.
Going wide and is going very, very slowly.
To stop, but it's gone away. They're free to rest.
Of 56 laps here, and the gap, Piastri and Russell down to 6. Antonelli bare.
First corner against George Russell.
George Russell getting very feisty now as through the S's.
For Piastri is every time he has to defend, he'll stay within a DRS 1 second race. A little bit of a tidier first sector, that's worked well.
Back straight here, DRS taking Norris. Lewis Hamilton then has DRS. Tsunoda right at the back of that pack too.
Control ended up colliding into the side.
And a spin and making his way up into 8th.
Line, Behrman had to yield. And
piece control. So Charles Leclerc with us hasn't got the pace to match Max Verstappen. The place that Tsunoda has made up, yes it is.
Now as he can pace himself, he's not drop his tyres where at least.
But it's a long while since we've had a maybe with their developments for this season. Norris against Charles Leclerc. Norris trying to go keeping very, very close as we ride on board.
Leclerc doesn't have a championship to worry about.
Norris in third, his teammate Oscar Piastri in Albon and Bortoletto for that incident.
With the Ferrari, they get another dose of DRS. If Norris now got to be really patient to run out of there, because if not, he's got Lewis Hamilton.
From Charles Leclerc as we watch him make within half a second, but that's probably what you need.
Race trim, the Ferrari looks way better.
See what happens down the long back straight. By the time you get to the end of that straight, quite as Nico Hulkenberg gaining on Ollie Behr, just clipping away at his heel.
It's a much better line, but if he's anywhere near a striking range, much faster car underneath him, and he wants to.
That's if Norris is alongside him, yeah?
If again, Lando will cut underneath, blowing all three of these cars up.
Untroubled as he is, and over 3-time world champion.
Yeah, and the two McLarens are sit them and play the long game when they're
used for his teammate Oscar Piastri. He's over a second behind. Is he far enough back or close enough to wait patiently for an opening?
Touch deep into turn 12, but you can just tell Norris has got to get through it, and that's just playing beautifully. Leads.
Said you need about half a second. I think Norris has got that, but he's losing.
Both Ferraris as show up a little bit. This is bringing.
Can Lando Norris keep within half? We're overheating.
But don't tyres. They will fake a final warning for track limits.
The handling is a little bit an initial good getaway. but Verstappen...
with the grip, with the confidence, up underneath the rear wing of Max.
There is the Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli on the left turn 15. At least he's got moving before the lights went out. As we see, a bit of contact there, Street. And there, Antonelli, Carlos Sainz. That is Carlos Sainz there.
It's a difficult, the marshals have got to go out and push it out into the racetrack. It's a, rather than the full safety car, so it won't decide he needs to, but this slows. Do they think they can just...
Antonelli who comes across him, and well, we saw that. It never ends well.
Yeah, copy, saw that, mate.
Yeah, Carlos wasn't far enough along. I mean, he was reasonably alongside, but I mean, start turning the car, you'll and Antonelli would have the hit, to be honest.
We talk about this all the time, that if you're making a move on the inside, how far...
And I don't think he was far enough alongside. The stewards will decide that is Carlos.
DN did not start, of course, in Austria. The field after being sent into a spin when he might be a bit early, Ted Kravitz.
About 5 or 6 laps to, and that means Albon can go medium.
Stewards decided he was absolutely at fault.
And I'm wondering how on Norris, Tina, false effect, but...
And here we go, let's go green again. It was already starting to drop back before the VSC.
Well, like it was better, more efficient.
Any thoughts, Karun Chandok at Sky Race Control?
Video is McLaren have told Oscar Piastri how early they pit, because you can't...
Standing on the second step will be investigated once we're done with a 56 lap to Lando Norris, which was half a second. Excellent race so far after starting 13th. Hülkenberg and Alonso complete the points, and we have...
It's front and left.
You'd imagine you'd punish your right front long, actually 4 apexes through the...
What a cause Lando Norris to further back behind Charles Leclerc. Certainly low 1.8 seconds, and we can see the gap misses now to Charles Leclerc. Interesting. So, from what we've seen,
lofts on the Ferrari of Leclerc are doing... I know they've had
good impression there. The Texan Roll, who got it all wrong at turn 1, Colapinto, had a 5-place grid position, but he's got the soft tyre on. Got a point for Williams last year. His last certainly seemed worse. He'll need to keep running. In fact, he's dropping a little bit further back. Lando, bit by bit, 10th by 10th, still...
DRS zone is certain just over a second, so Russell keeping Piastri. No, McLaren don't still.
If they're looking at plan B, is so we can make a one-stop work, and there's that.
The grip. And when they cool, they get pickup.
Lance Stroll on the soft tyres got past Franco Colapinto. I'm sure we will in a moment, but he's managed to get past Lawson in 11th, and this is what happened to Larkin. Lance Stroll was away down the hill, and
today trying a lunge, but clearly it didn't dent his.
They said, look, I'd rather see a driver going for things, but we're not going to blame him anymore.
Very long way back as Norris now, Charles Leclerc.
Lando Norris, 1:30 lap times between those two McLaren drivers. Ted,
next time round, just a quick one before that fight. Whereas if everyone else has to go to a 2-stop, medium. So Tsunoda running P7.
Tsunoda, 3 points finishes here, and his struggles down in 6th.
Will, I think, be in DRS range of Leclerc. He's been praised that, but you're doing a great job.
Oscar Piastri here this afternoon. His car, no chance of a move. Yeah, how much longer? Oh, God, Lando Norris got allowable trips towards second of Charles Leclerc, so he'll get that diction here. And the wind going straight the breeze. Out in front, Max Verstappen the afternoon. From pole in yesterday's sprint, Max Verstappen. This lap, Kimi Antonelli's got that, and if he takes...
The Ferrari mirrors work fine, don't they? Because the papaya...
Lando Norris, front left.
To a little bit... judging by how much, and Lando really starting to ring, have any chance of catching and passing Ferrari of Charles Leclerc.
So it needs to stay exactly there by the time they get
up a little bit as well now. That's the track down the straight, and Norris gets a so calm, so precise down here. Norris has got a chance now when he gets.
Let's get ever closer to the Ferrari. Here he comes, here. Really nice on the exit. He's alongside the Ferrari right again towards the left-hander return. This time the Ferrari gets a better exit.
Leclerc making that Ferrari as wide driving, and he did leave the cars.
Coming out of turn 11.
Yeah, once again, effectiveness of it, haven't we?
It is not as significant. Karun Chandok, very quickly to you.
A gap between Alonso and Hülkenberg, a 4-stop last year, about 20 and a half.
Now, Norris now has 2 track limit warning.
A bit on this lap, which I dare say is because he's had to get a bit closer. You know what you're given, lap after lap after lap. While we were on the soft compound tyre, Stroll, and we're on board now with the Mercedes of very close to Piastri now, getting a bit closer. So Piastri's got to watch 16th.
Now Verstappen with that side kind of have to blink first and pit him. I don't think they've got a bucket load of them in the strategy. I don't think they've got enough grip. Have Formula 1 commentators been saying that?
Quite delightfully for him. Here comes Lando side. Lando needs, I think, a little dive.
Charles' party trick yesterday against his teammate, didn't he? Down on the sort of
DRS range, and now we're nearly down the inside on the Racing Bull, back up after that contact with the sent to the back.
Now once again, though, desperately needs to get this done. 4 meters of grip and confidence around the outside, particularly up front. He must be coasting out there.
Can place the plus side for Norris. The rivals, Oscar Piastri's rivals. Norris a bit too far back once again, certainly to jabbing cat and mouse games. He is struggling on those hard tyres.
So right back in behind Nico Hulkenberg, used the fresh tyres, and the pair they all have to carry on for the time being.
Ahead of Fernando Alonso and
to that squabble.
That's very true. Albon on trying to do what Sebastian Vettel did to Kevin Magnussen. Here is Alex Albon, who has pitted in this race. Now, what can Lando Norris do? 1/6 a second. So, those kilometres an hour of extra speed. Now he's gaining. Leclerc can go deeper into the corner. The absolutely closes the door. Slam shuts.
Pressure now on that, so that's his 3rd back limits. He wasn't left a whole lot of racing space.
Warnings there for Lando Norris. Probably making the DRS. Just that little
overtake. Is it another bluff by...
certainly worth something here if you're going onto them. Do you see any activity down in the pit lane?
I see if they're all trying to extend the medium tyre because they don't want to go on past McLaren. What's going on with Oscar his tyres, trying to keep his tyres alive? What happened to Oscar's pace? Still
Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris at 10 that's making moves. Another place up for him. Pit to overtake. They'll be running out.
Double issue here, the double jeopardy for... No, it means they're not getting the gap behind.
Up into 15th, Esteban Ocon.
Warning flag then, 3 strike. That's an awful long way to go without...
It's a struggle. Fernando Norris not been his friend so far this win all race long. The Norris when the DRS opens, this time he'll go place as they go through turn 12 on lap.
He had to stay in track limit, and once again then it all looks a bit wide, but he should have pace he's got in those tyres.
I know you're busy.
Oh.
Yeah,
I know.
Just so you know, I think is that message there. And now he's free. He's only got
this first sector here to get out of the dip with an action read.
Gap between Piastri and Verstappen. If it stays, I think Prey on the mind of even the car.
He's on the medium compound tyres. It won't be long. This is going to be it. He's going to do it for himself, isn't he? But
the switcheroo from Lewis Hamilton, where in the sprint race yesterday, when Hamilton did manage more and not to be done, Ferrari no further off the road.
Yeah, they're going to pit a lap. Extra Owen's attention because he'll come out on fresh tyres right now
to cover him, or they just go
on to soft tyres, haven't they, McLaren? Whereas that's quite smart. This is working out well. Stretch out this part.
On the soft, it's a brand new medium. No response from McLaren yet.
Rare ahead of him, so the foot has pitted. Charles Leclerc of McLaren watching on from the pit wall. Easier afternoon for him, Zach.
Yeah, that was just the feedback from Oscar, Zach. He's obviously struggling.
So I think what you see sequences here.
Zach, you had a depressing weekend for you.
Nah, it's a P4 at the moment, so let's see how we finish.
In Austin.
He's going nicely, don't get me wrong, before he can get back on the...
A 10th would be his first podium finish. Was it not done by any Ferrari driver before securing for a first time as a Ferrari driver? He, of course...
We're not seeing stunning sector times, and nor should of the Grand Prix does Charles Leclerc. Oda relatively quickly.
Mediums, that is easier said than done. A 2-stop strategy, it might enable stopper and keeping track position might be the one, as Esteban Ocon is the next car ahead of him.
But the flip side of that is coming down.
Right.
And when you're sitting in the pit lane,
Ocon then will come out. The one driver to retire. Antonelli sent into the gravel. It's a 56. There's your race leader. Well, this is back to vintage Max.
Qualifying his starts.
Every time he speaks, you can ask him on Thursday, what are your chances of winning the champion beyond the end of the race that we're at? And that
Managed down expectations. You've still got to take a lot of points off them. That's sort of doable. Although they've collision between the pair of them as he starts to catch. The Leclerc, I think, will sail past. I don't think Hülkenberg will fight that one.
Hülkenberg in 9th, still in the points where he hasn't finished ever since then. The gap remaining is left in 33 laps to go to 32 laps by Oscar Piastri. Albon has passed Franco Colapinto. The Williams, but Albon looks to have judged it absolutely place.
Those kind of sections, we had them in Hockenheim, can't keep defending.
Now we saw that in qualifying. A little bit slower, bit of a glaze on the...
Might be the wind conditions as well, but Max, and he's got half a pit stop advantage. They really can just keep it.
Yeah, pick their moments on that one. No far, and we're at lap 28.
So far, lap's time, it'll be then that they can put the lap 32, something like that. Then you could put 7 now, down to Behrman, all just hanging in.
39.4, for example, Norris at 39 a little bit, but I really thought he would...
As we saw yesterday, on the medium tyre, didn't they?
So, they did. Ferrari, we're not on board with him at the moment. Probably for Plankwear underneath. Really had. We had that little bit of virtual safety.
Charles Leclerc up into 7th place. That could improve lap times by drivers were doing on Friday, which of course is Ferrari worried about Plankwear.
There's like a legality plate underneath. You will be thrown out, and Ferrari knows.
Same race as well for Plankwear when they were running the pits. Karun Chandhok's at race control.
Off. So obviously what they're trying to do is make this still. Verstappen's been asked the question. Norris here. Let's try and extend.
Yeah, Tappe earlier on in the Grand Prix. Take the position.
A little bit trickier, and George Russell a little bit further up, manage his pace with the tyres getting a little bit tricky. Stands currently. Hamilton lifting and cut, and Hamilton on that previous lap, and Tsunoda going on that front left. That's a little bit slow on the soft.
Absolutely. Norris's pace is great. He's effectively racing. Leclerc, who's pitted, is down, and Norris putting in the good laps.
Go and have to pass on track.
Avoid any dangers of possible contact. Get in.
A difficult weekend for him, hasn't it? But
well, I was going to say from 5th weekend that leaves him 4th.
Yes.
Who is going to be coming in? Ted, down to you.
For the pass. I think we might have both of them.
No, they've gone back in.
Yeah, they've gone back in. So it is Piastri onto a used set of soft.
Hülkenberg, the gap between Hülkenberg and Alonso. The next car coming through now. A long way to go on a set of soft tyres now for Oscar.
Pass between him and Leclerc. As George Russell doesn't stay on track. Piastri has, he's got to babysit those tyres. It is a very long way to go on them. Yeah, there's 2. And there's a fuel on board. That's like putting...
Between George Russell and Oscar Piastri coming into the pits for some soft tyres for 8 laps. Hamilton stopped 2.6.
Ferrari got a chance to win this year's pit stop championship.
How fast you are, and if they can outscore Red Bull pit stop champions of 2000, the pit stops. Which seems like Fred comes into pits and got hit by Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, and answer of Oscar Piastri, who was there in front.
And Leclerc, Martin mentioned a few laps ago, was 21 seconds. That gap...
2 seconds.
Come up behind Leclerc and have to over...
This time around, it will be soft, quite a slow stop there. So as George stationary from Lando Norris has just made his job that...
out there, but it's weird, isn't it, McLaren? The set quite gelling, is it?
And they won't be able to fix things.
Yeah, because
at 33, and the driver, before he won a world champ by almost 33 seconds. No, not that far at all. That's why Lando was so in...
5-second penalty.
Max Verstappen, and victory here this afternoon for him. He stops on his marks, up he goes, off, done, and out he goes again. George Russell is when Russell comes out, but Leclerc and Lando Norris in 3rd by the Mercedes team. 2.3 south for George Russell until he gets to the line.
People doing 32 different...
Just a bit. Once I should say, in this hard tyre leave a gap, and then the medium and the spirits necessarily worked, or has made
basically the hard compound tyre. Nobody found them as soon as they could, and that is what
C5 for the medium and the soft, if that is the way to go. Behrman and Tsunoda now. Already goes straight across there and spins, making contact and out of the race as
he went for the lunge.
Yeah,
he went for the lunge. Dens on him.
Oh, that could have been getting by turn one as we look at the replay.
He changed direction while I was in mid. Yeah. So
Moved back again, but it was too late by that stage.
Yeah.
And Ollie Behrman as that carried on, because in
and flat-spotted tyres now on Behrman's.
terms of his pace from here on in.
Norris is cold, so they've closed up a little bit, haven't they?
There we go. Just about in the pit for Max Verstappen. Norris.
Pre-pit stop, they were in 8.4, but in third place, 8.6. It's odd.
At that one. Gap's 1.5 straight. A lot of marbles now. It's off the.
And they've all got to follow, isn't it? There's so much discarded. It's most likely to get flicked off the tyre.
Afternoon here in Texas so far, 4-1 short, I think, of the all-time record.
Lando Norris with a leery slide coming off.
He is on a warning, a Blackham. That's a 5-second penalty, and of course he had a 5-second penalty. 5-second penalties here at the circuit. 3 seconds. Leclerc, I should say, sits. Hamilton running fourth. It is the seat he used to occupy. Kimi Antonelli. Lost Sainz went down the inside, and they both.
Compound tyre, it'll give him more grip, but it's 10 laps.
Making good use of his soft compound tyre. Turn 1, 14th place for 22 laps. And Alex Albon, sorry, I missed that on the screen after being hit by Bortoletto in the opening.
You can see now that he's in D.
He's just told Lando Norris, don't hate me. In front of Leclerc, he will then have to pull out for second place.
Gabriel Bortoletto is another 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits, as is 10th of a second down that back straight. Now on the Ferrari getting ever larger in Norris.
Well, we saw before, didn't we, that he needed to be Ferrari with his rear wing open.
I think he's able to make a move into turn 1 this time. Exit if he gets it right. Before he had to slam the brakes on. Let's have a little look.
Stay neat and tidy, don't tidy through there. Both of them were actually, when you're in the turbulent air of another car, I'm trying to... In a way, it's a shame for this race, because I can't blame Ferrari for that. They chose...
Tyre getting the launch off the line. On the soft compound tyre 2. Back down the hill and stay in a level.
Will be being reminded also of Norris, seconds ahead of Hamilton. So
I'm surprised that Sonoda Behrman is to the left.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, there was
right again as Ollie hit the dirt.
Norris, if he can pass Charles Leclerc and for the World Championship.
You know, with Oscar, his head's up, his chin's up. If another race goes by, an awful long way to go in this season. Piastri has absolutely got the mental capacity to count there, and he coped very well with the pressure.
Yeah, tires are gone.
Happy. So he's sliding around a lot. Oh dear.
At Maranello. If here in the last 15 or so laps, if flags is, there's more black and white flag action than
He's got the 3 strikes, and he said, why didn't you...
Lando complaining about tyres now.
Whether Verstappen thinks that's a bluff from Norris. No improvement, not closing on Lewis. It's already Monday morning in Melbourne, to say, like a toothache on a wet Monday morning on this Grand Prix. Has not felt the car under the sprint, and now stuck behind Lewis Hamilton again.
To go again, so come at him. But as they were here, Leclerc has got ever from Ferrari.
Happy Monday if you're again for Oscar, but a new week and maybe a championship battle where either three make a first manages to keep his championship, finish third here. He'll be what, 17th in Zandvoort with that DNF, 18th.
Yeah, and the clout in Canada was able to carry on, but watching Lando again, the car was sliding around, so run in the closing stages of this Grand Prix too hot.
When that happens, it puts more heat through the
of Norris's.
Can you drive?
Lovely, consistent lead. Norris just had a indeed building, letting that gap just build a lot. Meanwhile, let's talk to Karun.
Isn't it? Because you get to that crossover point where they've now 16 laps. That's a crossover where the median more laps, and then they have the tyre advantage.
Between Verstappen and Leclerc is the end of the race. I mean, time will tell. To the 1:38.6, so last lap, Max was at final stint, sector. Pedestrian through such a violent part of the...
Just gently picking up the Red Bull changes to their front wing, but they've energised the floor, I was hearing as well, but to just serenely sweep through
seafront on a Sunday afternoon around the circuit of the Americas.
It looks like that, sadly. That
Second, Lance Stroll is still within DRS range. As it stands in the Constructors' Championship, it's a good weekend for Ferrari in all Mercedes.
We're within a tenth of a second, basically, isn't it? The soft medium, remember he was the outlier.
Ted Kravitz, to you.
I'm just guys and their strategists, aren't we? We're absolutely spot on today with Charles Leclerc's strategy today, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's worked really. Piastri's no threat at all. Crofty for Ferrari is going to mean a big...
Just so I was saying, Ted, there'll be 4 points between them by the end. Thanks for joining us. This race could have been so... what are the state of his tyres that you're hearing?
Leclerc earlier on, maybe we would have given Max Leclerc Verstappen's out of reach.
And look forward to Mexico.
Just a thought as well, Zach, about your pit. Is there a problem with the hardware that's causing this?
Post-race, so I wouldn't want to guess as to what the...
This weekend. I'd be a little bit surprised if we see any...
Possibly, yeah. It's Mercedes good, didn't they, in the sprint yesterday? Really been at the races today in full, and that's a surprise. The car said that these cars are so nice of wind strength or direction, energy predict who's going to be on it.
As he closes on Pierre Gasly, and are getting quite close together. And in 8th, Behrman is not 6 points. Leclerc on the mediums. They can go and get Max Verstappen. This is the closest battle on the track apart from Isaac Hadjar. And look at this, was faster than Charles Leclerc. Tyre, you might be able to go and get 7, half a second.
He is. And they're both, isn't he, with a 7 second.
And Antonelli having something of a scrap. And there's Lance Stroll. This is a 3-way bike. 1 second. Stroll has got range here a little bit to allow his teammate on Esteban Ocon. That was a replay. Did Antonelli warning for exceeding track limits?
So his speed left as well. And this is it. This is for 3 points because Verstappen at Piastri as well today.
Yeah, this take your choice on that. Last Salesforce Driver of the Day vote, Charles.
Else that's going to happen towards the end of this race, Russell, he's on 3 lap younger tyres. Mercedes P6 is closing on Piastri.
Leclerc though, down now.
He needs everything working for a lap. Get a move done because he's dropped back, let that tyre cool down. Now he is going to be within DRS rate of track, and he'll get DRS Andretti, that final corner.
He was, but he won't lose 3rd place. Worth, as long as he doesn't lose a wheel or
6 seconds. Then the gain over the last 6 laps from the pit wall as well. Don't give up here. There must of battery remaining here because he's using that with
done. Too far behind on the knows all the tricks, that not acceleration, but so is the McLaren. We're on way. This is a brilliant section through here.
That looked a bit slidey from Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, Norris all the confidence.
He's felt that the switchback was the right way to defend, up at turn 1, as we should say.
And Leclerc telegraphed it.
And he saw that little squirmy slide 11 to pick up the slipstream, to use Charles Leclerc once in this race to take second. He takes that second place away from the spider pit wall. Just hang on in there. Chance.
But I think also the Ferrari started to lose this lap and start the next lap. Otherwise, super neat and clean then. But
Right.
indeed, didn't he? He's like, he didn't go down the outside. This was the into turn 1. But he's the front runners, and this is the overtake. But he'll struggle a little bit for a few in the first sector, and that is going to give...
What it does in the Drivers' Championship, as friends, it'll go down well on a gloom if you're watching in Melbourne. 18 points at the end of this race in the channel. Isaac Hadjar has been trying. He has got past Pierre Gasly, and in 6 against the Alpine, easy pass.
Come on, do this and do that. I think I'd Russell off pretty comfortably as well.
Kind of there from Russell, that's just faded away for Oscar Piastri, but his recent in Italy last win, Dutch Grand Prix of this season, and whilst the point been better, and Verstappen is both McLaren drivers. Out in front, he's got cars ahead of him. Beto is good friend and collaring a bit on his tyres, or Bortoletti up them.
Yeah, they haven't been giving indications up. And then when Max is within 1 point, overtake them, I don't think, if he doesn't want to, but buffer. You never know what's going to happen with...
I think he's going to Fernando Alonso. Lawson's dropped back. 7th was making a move on Yuki.
Cars are managing here, so we should need to hold positions, please.
It's because he's managing Frank. I absolutely see why you would want to get past your bearman after he went onto the dirt, got a load of dust on his toe.
He'll need to do that in the pit straight, and his cars are
He's
squabbling.
going for it, he's
like
not holding
this.
positions. He's forced out wide by Colopins. He's up to 17th.
Yeah, well, so a long way back, but
He's still racing, of course, and else they would like to be a lot. We know that he can make overtakes
for his career, isn't he? So I don't blame him.
Tonight, Max Verstappen might celebrate, and a whole new bar song later single.
Talked to him on the grid, but I didn't.
7.2 seconds. First podium for Ferrari in Verstappen. Gabriel Bortoleto getting very close. He's really struggling. It might look like Hamilton with a dream of becoming the dream is about to come true.
I think it absolutely all afternoon, and it looks in the hairpin of turn 11.
In Hungary, 6 since then, second in Holland. First top step of the podium here. He's had at the start of this weekend, he had a sprint with track where he's won 3 times before. For a 7th win in the United States. Line wins the US Grand Prix. Ken Long for him. Lando Norris finishes. He's got a puncture. Piastri is gaining on him to Wentz. Around the final corner, Oscar Piastri finishes 5th, and the fight is going on for the final point. Alonso and